Good morning, beautiful humans. Lana here with another video talking about some learnings from the Myth of Normal book by Gabor Mate and his son Daniel. I want to talk about, so I've gotten to the final section of the book where he starts turning to some more practical tenets of healing. And first, I'm going to talk about, at least in this video, I'm going to talk about his 4 A's: acceptance, authenticity, anger, and agency. He said that in one of his previous books, I think it was When the Body Says No, he had like 6 or 7 A's, and he's narrowed it down. So I know I've said in previous videos, if you haven't read any of his other books, this feels like a good one to start with because it's the newest one and it feels like it's kind of built off of all of his previous work. So you're getting kind of all of his thoughts in one place, or at least the most updated versions of that. But yeah, so he starts with authenticity as the first A that he describes, but I want to talk about the acceptance one first because it's the one that kind of allows everything else, I think, and the healing process to truly begin. And so, yeah, acceptance basically just speaks to, it's like in AA, first step is admitting you have a problem. So the first step is to, and it's not to put up with the situation that you're in or that you've been in. It's to accept that it's happened. You cannot change it. You cannot go back and rewrite history. And you're just acknowledging that this is a part of your life story. For him, he talks about, his grandparents were killed in Nazi gas chambers, and just all of what the Holocaust did to his family and the effects on him, being taken away from his mother and basically living in a ghetto in his early years. Like, so much tragedy, right? And he's spoken with other folks, other Jews impacted by the Holocaust, and he's never going to forgive Hitler. Some people have, in the sense that they accept what he's done, what he did, and it's not about letting him off the hook, but it's about releasing the anger and the pain that you hold on a day-to-day. But it won't be undone, but it's kind of choosing to stare it in the face and to make peace with it, I guess. For some of us, that acceptance can be difficult because we want to deny what's happened to us to protect ourselves from pain. That maybe someone we love treated us in a way that doesn't look like loving. Whatever it is, but acceptance is sort of one of the big first steps to healing. And then he talks about, I want to talk about authenticity. And so authenticity, the way Gabor talks about it, is really like living as close to your truth as possible. In today's world, authenticity is often marketed, in a way that's generally tied to buying products that make you unique. And basically, to him, authenticity is not a performance. It's not for anybody else. It's often actually makes life a bit harder sometimes, because it could mean saying no. It could mean going against the grain or sticking true to what you believe and need, when it's not always the easiest option. But yeah, authenticity is living as closely aligned with your values and needs and your inner wisdom and voice as possible. And a lot of that comes from honoring who you are and your life story and your trauma, right? Yes, so we've talked about acceptance, authenticity. Okay, agency. Agency, he talks about responsibility. So, yeah, it's not taking responsibility for, the shit that other people have done to you. It is accepting it as a part of your life story, but it's, I guess, choosing to heal through an experience. And recognizing that you have the ability to respond to things that have happened to you in a way that can either be helpful or harmful, really. At least that's my interpretation. Yeah, lots of people, there's so many people, so many examples who have gone through terrible, terrible things, and even like chronic illness, for example, and have used it almost as, there's some really cute ducks crossing the street, but have used it as, a bunch of babies, have used it as I'm so distracted. Okay, we're good. I've used it as an opportunity to face things that maybe they've put on the back burner, face unacknowledged stress and pain and trauma that may have impacted some of their health conditions or whatever it is. The universe has a way of giving us the requisite suffering needed to find the healing that we need. And I think that healing only comes when we take agency and ownership over our own suffering and our ability to change our perspectives on it, or use it to heal and move towards more wholeness. And then the final A, the fourth A, is anger. And really it's a part of healing for a lot of folks, especially a lot of women, is learning how to express healthy anger. And even using it as a way to say no when we need to say no and be authentic to what we're actually feeling. For men in a patriarchal society, anger is a more acceptable emotion for them to feel, but because women and femininity is often attributed to passivity and niceness, right? Just going along with everything and not making a fuss, expressing healthy anger, expressing when I don't like this doesn't make me feel good, I don't want to participate in this, I need you to stop, or this is frustrating to me. You just acknowledging when something is frustrating to you is so important. And he shares some really crazy stats on the physiological effects of tamped down anger in women, and I'm trying to remember. I'll see if I can put the stats maybe in the description, but yeah, so I'm trying to think. I'm not sure if this is the stat that I was trying to think of, but he talks about how with ALS patients, they're often described by their physicians as the nicest people. Just really kind, easygoing, don't make a fuss, yada, yada, yada. And there's some stats that he shares that basically, like the story short, is that the nicer patients have worse health outcomes. And then similarly, he talked about cancer patients and how the ones who just blatantly accepted doctors' treatment and went along with everything were seen as the nice patients, but the ones that were actually difficult and asking questions and challenging the doctors generally did better in terms of recovery. So, just wild, but I think it just goes to show that anytime we're not authentic to our true feelings and needs and expression of the self, we are like building this tension inside of us, and that manifests physically and mentally. So really interesting stuff. Those are the 4 A's. I think I'm going to leave it here, and in another video I think I'll talk about his 5 C's of compassion, because I found that to be, again, like this is sort of the more practical stuff, like the easier like acronyms and whatever that you can kind of keep in mind on your healing journey and checking in with yourself. But yeah, that's it, folks. I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.